Hello, and welcome back to Xpwaste, where sometimes we say, hey, a whip. I'm Oxie.
And I'm Michael. If you're new around here, welcome. We're a podcast that talks predominantly about old school Runescape. It's a good 99% or so, perhaps 92%. And then as we say, the other half is talking about random tangential nonsense because Oxie and I have a tendency to get off track. If you're not new around here, welcome back. My cat is going to be screaming the entire time. She got the zoomies and wants something to do the minute I hit record. So maybe Michael will leave in some meow in the background like she's being tortured. I promise you she's not. She's just being dramatic. Michael. Oxie.
Yes.
How is your week going?
It's going good. Hey, I want to start off the episode by saying, come to the Xpwaste North meetup. August
look at this
5th.
Man remembering. What a guy.
How do you say it?
Ypsilanti,
Michigan, which is just
Ypsilanti. I realized I messed that up last week. It's not Ypsilanti. Michigan has
there's a Y in it.
So half of Michigan's cities are named after Saginaw, Chippewa, Ojibwe tribe things.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously things like Detroit is French. It was Detroit for a while, Mount Pleasant is just there he's BRB, cool.
Oop.
He's looking for a game, cool. All right, he's touching the stream deck, folks. We're killing it.
Just press the button.
But cities like, Saginaw, God, what's another one I'm thinking of? It's where are the words? Words are hard.
I have no idea any of the names, so it's just Native American, derived from the Native American tribes and their
pretty much. And the pronunciations are
settlers.
a little wonky. So even though there is a Y, it's not Ypsilanti, it's Ypsilanti. I'm pretty sure. I don't go to that part of the state super often. So I felt kind of bad. People have been hitting me up in DMs what's a good hotel? Where's a good place to stay? What are good things to do? I'm I don't think I've been in that area since I was in middle school when I went to go watch a U of M football game with one of my buddies. I don't think I have been there in forever. I heard Otis says English language is hard. It's not the English language. It's the Ojibwe language that's hard. That's why it's difficult. But
it's the opposite of English.
Not quite. We still use the same characters, but
I guess what is the opposite of English? Binary language, ones and zeros.
Probably that seems like the most. It's the opposite to most languages is binary, I would guess. But
anyway, we are having a North meetup for Xpwaste in Ypsilanti, Michigan, which is near Ann Arbor. I've been told, which is outside of Detroit. So if you're wanting to come be there, show up, just fly into DTW, Detroit, Michigan, on August 5th. More information is going to be in the Discord. If you check the pinned comments in the Xpwaste chat in our Discord, you can find out more information there. But I just wanted to let you guys know we're going to we're going to keep reminding you pretty much every episode, just to if you hey, I haven't listened to Xpwaste in weeks and weeks and weeks, but this is your first time hearing it. You've heard it first here, folks. Xpwaste North is happening August 5th, 2023. I'm very excited. It'll be my third time in Michigan ever. The last time I went was for episode 99, and that was a lot of fun, but it was cold. I'm kind of excited to see Michigan in the summer and to escape the Texas inferno that is outside, because I don't know about you, but it's been I get in the car and it'll be 3 digits, 110, just sitting in the sun.
We don't get that.
It's so bad.
I will say, how do you feel about humidity?
I hate the humidity, but as long as it's not well, no, because right now it's 110 degrees and 60% humidity, so it's the worst of both worlds. But if it's a cool 90, 85 degrees humid, that doesn't bother me, because at least you can breathe.
You say 85 degrees or percent humidity?
85 degrees with a 50 or 60% humidity.
It's 75 degrees, cloudy, and 72% humidity. So It builds,
I
and
still
the air
don't know if
gets
that's
thick
bad.
around here. Not
Yeah.
even just from the Canadian smoke. Like the air like just genuinely feels thick with the humidity. Not
Thick
in
with
like a
2 Cs?
yeah, 2 Cs, sometimes 3. There's just mainly just 2. It's not like toxic to breathe in. It's just
Yeah.
I'm super used to it. So like when I went to
Yeah.
Arizona, the air felt really, really light when I went to the Grand Canyon. Because I
Yeah,
was like,
'cause it's a very
this
dry
is-
heat.
Like the dry heat, I'm like, this is weird. It just hurts. Like there's nothing
I would
here.
I would much rather have a dry heat because I'm a perpetual sweater. I mean, just stand like going outside to take the trash out. I just sweat. I'm not even exerting any sort of physical force, and like my pores are leaking sweat. So if I can go outside and just stand and not do anything like crazy, and not have to sweat, I would much rather have that. Iron Otis asked in the recording booth chat if we're going to do an episode while I'm in Michigan for the meetup, and I mean, probably. I'm going to be there on a Saturday. It's not like so. Alternatively, I would have to fly home Sunday and immediately get back on the computer when I get home to record the episode versus just planning for us to record that weekend while I'm there. But
That episode might be all over the place. We might even
Yeah.
like. How would you guys feel if we did like a vlog style episode that week?
ooh,
So when we went to Texas, right? I stayed at Michael's house. Unfortunately, I live 3 hours away from Detroit Metro. And my parents' house, who they live like an hour away, is not the most feasible place to record. Kind of hard to bust up in your parents' house that you haven't lived in 6 years, put up a full recording setup because I'd have to take my gaming PC and my monitors and all that home, and then double it to get Michael set up as well.
yeah.
It's not feasible to do like an episode like we did in Texas because I don't know about you. I really don't want to bring my computer down to Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
Like I'll bring my laptop and we'll do like a raid, like a shitter raid
Yeah.
on my laptop. I've got no problem with that. But
Right.
like I don't want to bring this beast with me down there. So what I'm thinking is maybe Michael and I can take some time and like randomly document stuff because we did for episode 99. I'm pretty sure. Did we ever post that stuff or no?
It was on
the
Patreon.
Patreon,
Yeah.
So
it
we've
was a
done
Patreon.
some vlog style stuff in the past. Let us know how you feel about a vlog episode. It's not going to be a big like milestone episode. It'll probably just be Michael and I exploring around Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And frankly, if we do the vlog style one, there's a chance that people who come to the meetup might make it in because the break bit we did for the Texas meetup was so fun. I had such a good time with those interviews that I kind of want to like, I don't know if I want to do that same thing or mix it up somehow.
Yeah. Make it like a tradition though.
I mean, maybe we'll see how we're going. We'll see how we're feeling, but like something to get the people involved while we're there. So let us know in our Discord how you guys would feel about like, it's really non-traditional for Xpwaste to do something like that, and we've always said that we want to be more than just like an uncut Discord call. So if the like absolute lack of technological anything in that episode, because I think like someone said, Otis said smartphone audio, it's not going to be great, guys. Like
I have a solution for that. So before I went to Michigan for 99, I bought these little like they call them like lavender. It starts with an L. It rhymes with lavender. I can't lavender. Anyway, they're mics that clip onto your shirt, and they're wireless. And we have 2 of them, and we can channel both of them into a phone. They're designed to be lavalier. Yeah, whatever that word is. Thank you, Soggy Waffles. They're designed to be clipped onto your shirt. They go into your phone, and we can both record audio from them. So I have some ideas now that you mentioned like going around the city.
Kind of sick.
Yeah, I have some ideas on what we could actually do for an episode that week. I think it would be a lot of fun.
That could be a lot of fun. Because like, I don't know how this is related at all. Like I said, welcome to Xpwaste, home of the tangents. My roommate went to Electric Forest which is a huge EDM festival in Michigan. If you're a raver, you probably have heard of Electric Forest. It's massive. Tons of people come out. It's in the woods in Michigan. It's a big fun time. So when you go to these raves, people have like totems, they call them, like in the sea of people, you can find your group.
Nice.
Last year, my roommate's group, their totem was protect from magic, and this year it was protect from melee.
Oh, neat.
Just as like, and my roommate isn't ever like, oh my God, guys, my roommate, me plays RuneScape. We should do something. People just independently play it. Like as soon as she got there, she was sending me pictures of like, oh yeah, this is our totem, protect from melee. I guess they had the protect from melee totem up and someone wearing, and I swear to God, I need this shirt so bad. It was like a jersey with the skills tab with like 2277. It was a jersey with the skills tab on it. And she sent me a Snapchat of this guy. And she's like, yeah, he saw our totem and came up and started talking to us. So like,
it's why
if
not?
you're a raver, apparently old school players are ravers. I'm still in some discords with my ex, as a matter of fact, because we have some like mutual friends we still talk to. And my ex actually sent someone else's totem that said selling lobbies, with the RuneScape font. So, people.
That's fun. We should have a totem for the meetup.
A totem, yeah, it's my hat. That's the totem for the meetup. You find the hat and then.
Find the short guy with the hat.
Yeah, the guy who's 5'6" with a big old adventure hat on. Because I don't ever get to wear that on the show. Like, I don't think you understand how often I wear that thing when it's warm. I forgot it fishing last night, which I was pissed about.
Come on,
but
do better.
I know. So we play a game, right? Like that's the point of this. How other than the meetup, right? How was your week? Because I feel like we derailed ourselves pretty quickly there.
Bro, this is our show. There's no like, our show is the rails. So how can we derail a show that is us?
I feel like I could just disconnect right now. That'd be funnier than shit if I just like left. Like that's how we derail the show, baby.
No, it's like B could derail the show. That's how, like, she's not part of it, but she jumps on your face and like scratches it or turns off your computer. That hasn't happened for a while.
That hasn't happened for a while. That used to happen when I kept my computer on the ground. There was a time I was streaming on Twitch and we were doing like learner top, but I was a learner. And at Nilo Room, there might be a clip of it somewhere. At Nilo Room, I'm like, little lady, what are you doing down there? Click. Everything. It's like stream disconnected. Everything shut off. She turned my computer off mid Nilo Room.
Wow. But that shouldn't happen again because now she's probably not actually been on your desk. I don't think she.
My desk is really narrow and she's fat as shit, so she really doesn't like being on my desk. There's not a lot of room for her to walk. And then every time she is on my desk, I'm usually yelling at her to get off or something like that because like
I
don't want you up in my business,
So derailing episodes aside, my week has been pretty decent. It was like a really good like work week for me. I got a lot done as far as like actual work. So then on Friday, I rewarded myself with not doing much of anything. And I just did diaries. Like my whole week, RuneScape wise, has just been doing diaries. It started 2 weeks ago, I think, or a week ago. I did a stream on YouTube where I was trying to knock out as many diaries as I could. And then in the days following, I got all of the easy diaries done and about 70% of the medium diaries done. And then I got 2 hard diaries done. And all of that work netted me 70 herb lore because for like a month, I was just planting irrits. TMD gave me like 200 irrit seeds and I planted all of them. It may have been like 150, but I planted all of them and I got over 1,000 irrits that I made into attack potions. And so that alone was like it was probably close to 100,000 herb lore XP. Couple that with all of the random herbs that I've gotten from Kingdom and PVM and TMD also giving me more herbs. So I got up to 69
Nice.
herb lore, just nice, just from herbs. And so I was like, I can get like, what is it? It's like 70,000 XP from 69 to 70. It's like, I can do that with diaries. So all of the diaries that I have left, all the diaries that I had done, sorry, I had like, I don't know, let me pull up the picture because I posted it in our group chat here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got like 13 XP lamps in my inventory.
God.
It was
I'm like just now seeing that. That's a shitload of XP lamps.
It was 5 easy diaries, 6 medium diaries, and 2 hard diaries. And all that together, that was over 100k XP.
God damn.
Yeah, it was a really good boost in the herb lore XP. So, I got 70 herb lore, and then the only thing left that I had for Song of the Elves requirements was 70 construction, which I had banked. And I finished that last night actually. So it's been a really good week. I'm very motivated to play this account. I'm 1639 total. It's like I'm kind of worried. And it's not like I'm not worried. I'm trying to think ahead. I don't want to I don't want to be too dramatic, but I'm trying to think ahead to when I finish the quest cape. Like, what am I gonna do? Because that like the quest cape has been my goal for 3 months, and that's all I really have been doing. I said last week that I've been kind of motivated by PVM with the ability to like progress the account in meaningful ways. And so maybe once I get the quest cape, I'll try and knock out like base 85s in my combat stats, and then just like dive into PVM and Slayer. Because I feel like that's what we need as a group is the upgrades that you get from Slayer. Because our group mate Scape, he has told us that he wants to be the Slayer guy, but like I feel like he got busy. I haven't seen Scape in weeks, it feels like, which is fine. Life happens. But I think I have the highest Slayer level in the group right now at 71. And I'm 60k to 72, so that's like a few hours away. But 75 is when it gets good, for money at least.
Skeletal wyverns are 72, so like...
Wyverns are not easy to kill, though. I mean, gargoyles...
bottom of range.
Actually, that's true. That's not a bad idea, though. I had to kill... funny story. I had to kill a wyvern for the Falador diary, I think. Falador hard diary.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee you, I am the only person in all of RuneScape history to use a Slayer's
Respite. The
Respite?
drink.
Yeah. To actually boost Slayer. Because it boosts you by 2. And so my plan was to make wild pies. But then I realized you need like 85 cooking.
You need a shitload of cooking levels for
85 cooking. And like I don't have any sort of fish bank to even get close to 85. I'd have to like fish crab once for a week straight. So I'm like, what is the next best thing? And you can actually catch eclectic implings, and it's like a 1 in 100 chance or something to get a wild pie. But as another drop that's a little more common, they drop the Slayer's... What was it again?
Slayer's Respite is the name of the drink. Yes.
And that boosts your Slayer by 2. So I got 2 of those because as a drop, when you get them from the eclectic impling, it gives you 2 of them. I was like, wait, I'm 71 Slayer. I only needed a +1. And if I take both of these, that's at least 2 minutes of my Slayer being boosted. Sorry, that's 4 minutes of my Slayer being boosted. It came down to the wire. Let me tell you.
It took you 4 minutes to kill Skeletal Wyvern?
I had 30 seconds left until I was going to not be boosted, and it had like 50 HP. And I didn't bring a prayer potion. And so I was flicking piety, and I had to turn off protect from melee or whatever it is, protect from magic, because I was down to 10. I was less than 10 prayer point.
Oh, you did not plan that very well.
I did not plan it.
Holy shit.
And I only had the 2 respites. I would have had to catch more eclectic implings. But it was like when I was doing the whole like eclectic and blink grind, I was like, this isn't like a terrible thing to go dry on. If I didn't get the Slayer's Respite or the Wild Pie, I'm like, this wouldn't be a terrible thing to go dry on because I'm getting medium clues, and medium clues could equal a spooned pair of Ranger boots. Didn't happen.
Or the more fancy climbing boots G.
Or yeah. No. I only did 2 clues, and I only had to catch, what is it? Let me pull up the loot tracker here. I only had to catch 47 implings to get the 2 drinks. So I got 2 medium clues, 2 of the Slayer Respites, and I still have 13 eclectic implings in the bank. So if at any point you need them, let me know. But I might just pop them open and do the last clue that I get and see what happens.
Probably not a bad shout, honestly.
Yeah. There's an easy way to check how many clues I've done. My name is Mixel. I've done 12 medium clues, which is not that many, but I'm remembering back on my main account when I got my Ranger boots, I got it at like 24 or 26. So I could get spooned again, and that would be
You could just get it on the first drop.
You could get it on the first one.
If TMD is listening, he's going to have an aneurysm right now.
He's just like rolling in anger. No, I mean, you can, but it's never guaranteed. Or you could go, what is it? Mimi went like 30 something, 3,300, 3,400 dry for a black boater.
I was going to say that was to complete the medium collection log, though.
But like going for one specific item is what I'm saying. You could go mega dry. It can happen. I'm hoping.
Welcome to RNG, baby. I don't know.
But
every time Michael learns about RNG, it's always like,
listen,
dude, you could get it the first time, or you could get it the 10,000th time. It's just like every time we have this conversation with him.
But any boots that you get from medium clues would be some sort of useful item. Any of them. I mean, spiked manacles maybe not, but like climbing boots. Yeah, I'm already using climbing boots as my main boot slot, so the G is just it's just fashion at that point.
I think our spiked manacles, do they have a better strength boost than climbing boots?
That's a great question,
because they might actually be an upgrade before we get dragon boots.
Oh,
OSRS,
like if they have a strength bonus,
they do. That's so. I think. Let's see. They have a +4 strength bonus, so they have the same. Is that the same bonus as dragon boots? What the? They have the same strength bonus as dragon boots.
As dragon boots?
Yeah. Okay.
What if they're missing the defenses though?
Okay. There's no defense requirement. That's why Pure is wearing.
Yeah.
Them. There's no defense requirement for spiked manacles. All right. I understand now. I get it. Intelligence.
But that's, I mean, like just talking about dragon boots just reminds me of the fact that we need Slayer. We need to go do Slayer, and that also is reminding me that in order to do efficient Slayer, well, not efficient, but to be efficient with doing Slayer and actually getting the upgrades, somebody's going to have to make the wild pies. So somebody's going to need to get 85 cooking, at which point I might actually enact my grand plan of getting 99 cooking on this account after I get the quest cape. So it would take long, but it would not take that long.
Uh-oh.
I think
Michael's
the longest
gonna max
part.
his Iron Man. Uh-oh.
You
Michael's
say that.
Gonna max his Iron Man.
You say that as a joke, but like that's the plan. I don't see myself not maxing this account. It might take 2 years, but like there's no reason not to.
It took you like 15 for the first account. So
it did. But I wasn't playing with the mindset that I have now. Like I'm 1,600 total. Almost 17. Well, I'm 16 and a half. 16, 16. Anyway, I'm 1,640 total. So I'm halfway to 1,700. And it's only been a couple months of actually going hard on this account. So I understand that it gets exponentially longer when you get past the mid game.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm almost base 70s on my account. That's halfway to base 90s, right? No. Halfway to base 90s is 80s. Okay, so if you're in the 80s, like 83, I think is halfway to halfway. I'm a quarter way to I'm a quarter of the way to halfway.
Oh boy, he's maxing, boys.
The gears are turning. 85 is half to 92. Thank you, Alpha Hotel Quebec. No. So going back to the original thing that I was saying, my week has been great. I'm feeling a lot of progress. How about you, my dear Michael?
It's been like half an hour. I know, like we took a while at the very beginning, like before, because like, we started recording and then like we both got up and like left. So I know it's not been like truly a half an hour, but my week has been good. These like full weeks of work are driving me crazy. I keep getting like, I almost like, that's how you know I play too much RuneScape. I almost said getting spooned. I keep getting like, the past couple weeks have been like every other week or so has been a day off for something. Like we got Juneteenth off. This upcoming week, I have 3 days off for 4th of July. And then not the following week, but the week after. So 3 weeks from now, I take a whole week off and I go up north. So I keep, and then I get, time off for Xpwaste North is going to be good. So like, it's almost like back in the beginning of the year where like, where I didn't work a full week for like 7 or 8 weeks in a row. Do you remember that?
I do.
Between like snow days and my kids getting like COVID and things like that, I sort of like, there was like a period of time where I showed up from like Tuesday to Friday. I had one kid because all the other ones had COVID, and I think I did like a Hydra task and a half that week. I got the Hydra pet at work. I'll never forget that one. But
hell yeah,
work week has been full, and I'm over it. I need this vacation coming up so bad because I'm burning. I need a little burning IRL on what I do for work, which is par for the course in my field.
Yeah.
So taking a break is going to be nice. Fencing's been going well. Been doing a lot more fishing in real life. I think that I've always said I think fishing and cooking are my 2 highest IRL skills, and we've been training the hell out of fishing these last couple of days. It's like,
where do you go fishing?
So
is there a lake by your apartment?
We live by a river.
And
there's a ton of different like parks and things along the way on the river. So we go to a kind of like county park nature preserve thing. And we've been going to a few different spots. We found one underneath a swinging bridge at one of the larger parks. And I've been loving it because it's right in the river. You can actually like hammer some pretty decent fish, bass, pike, stuff like that. But the friend I go with really likes to catch those little like shit kicker crappies. So
yeah,
when she fishes, she's like, this place, she's not loving the spot that we're at because like there's less area for her to catch some of the smaller fish. But it's been going well. Fishing's been a ton of fun. It's been a great way to get out of the house and be outside and all that. Broad Dog just got 100 million range XP. Holy shit.
Oh my gosh.
It's a lot of range.
Whoa.
And in game, I think this is the first time I've logged into my Iron Man all week. I'm doing suckers with melee and no cannon because we don't have any cannonballs as a team. So,
and for everybody who is normal out there, he's doing Suquas.
How about you sucker these nuts and get me some cannonballs so I can finish this task?
I only have 500 steel bars and I need them for
That's a shit ton of cannonballs.
That's 2,000 cannonballs, which would take you about an hour and a half to go through.
Well, it would still make this task go quicker. But alas, we're about halfway through it. We're cruising through the suckers task with melee. On the main, and this kind of relates to this week's main title content.
Ooh,
I've had like a really weird drive to just kill shit and make money.
Mm-hmm.
Because
is that weird?
It's weird. You'll know why it's weird here in a second when I explain. I've just been in this mindset of like I've been watching like a lot of like obsessive grinders on YouTube. I recently watched some Ingus videos. That's a problem because Ingus can play this game like full time, and camp bosses for like months on end. I physically cannot do that in any sense of the word. I can't focus for that long. I've got like a full-time job. Like content creation isn't my job, so like that stuff is difficult. And then I don't know, just like watching that and like other, streamers and YouTubers and stuff like that. I've just been like motivated to go make some GP and check off some goals off of my goal sheet. But like looking at my goal sheet, some of this shit is wild that I put on here. Like, it's super obtainable, but like, man, shit's gonna take a long time. So I got 90 mining this past week. I think that's the biggest updates. I finally got 90 mining, so I'm out of the mine.
Nice, dude.
And I no longer have a drive to skill, unfortunately, because I got it done. I'm like, I'm over this. Like, I've got a few more base 90s to get. It's like rune crafting, construction, and agility. Really not going to be too bad. So I've currently been training prayer. Probably going to get 93 this episode.
Are you doing all your ensouled heads?
Yes.
All the abyssal demon ones?
I'm a couple hundred heads deep. So training for 99 prayer. And one of the ways I've wanted to start killing and making money, this week in particular, I've caught a bug that really makes me sick in every sense of the word.
Cowfight Queen?
No, worse. I've had the motivation to go back to Chambers. And it's been brutal because if you guys don't know, hate Chambers. But I had a great time last night. We raided. It was me, Mima for a while, Smooth Lou, Fear. Raw Dog was there for a bit. We took O'Clay with us as a learner, which was fun. Though we did just like randomly throw him on running head without like any explanation of how to run head. We're like, yeah, when the head turns, run back and forth. Let's ride. And I think he died twice. And he's like, I'm going to stay outside the room. I'm not going to lose us any more points. We're like, nonsense. Get back in here. So we probably could have done better explaining how to run head. But, and I've always said that like Chambers on its own, I don't like the content particularly. I think it's very old. And I don't like the way it works. And it's stupid. And often doesn't give rewards. Going with a team of people who are as proficient or more proficient than you, but also don't give a shit about the content is the best. Being like we were running trios and 4-mans last night. No one gave a single shit. Like there was one point, I think we were in a 5-man. We were like chasing each other around to burn each other in Chambers, and it was an absolute like poison was everywhere because we were getting tracked by it. It was an absolute disaster during one of the
consensual
melee
ragging
phases. Yeah, it was great. Like that is when Chambers can be somehow enjoyable when the people don't make me want to pull my teeth out. For those of you kind of unaware of some of the roots of my hatred for this content, a majority of my learner raids were done with people who were, in hindsight, not that much better, but were also hypercritical of mistakes. Like, this is before the Elidness Ward existed, so there really wasn't a decent magic offhand to use. And if you've done Chambers for a while, you know that the Book of Darkness can help with accuracy, but accuracy is not really what you need to like hit the mage hand. Otis asks skill or level wise, kind of both. We were like on par for total level for a while, but skill wise it was like I don't know. Just skill wise we were very similar.
Everybody was noobs. Yeah.
Yeah, we were very similar in what we were doing. But it would be like I always use the example of like legitimate criticism for like you're attacking the mage hand with your Trident of the Swamp and you have your Vernic equipped. What the hell is wrong with you? Kind of criticism. If you've done Chambers, you know that doesn't actually matter, right? But as a learner, you're like, man, this kind of feels like shit. Like, I don't want to put up with this, right? Because I'm a grown-ass man and I don't want this, right? This isn't fun for me anymore. That in combination with, like, truly just not seeing drops. I think my first purple in my name was 108 KC. Yeah, it was 108 KC. It was an Elder Maul.
Oh gosh.
So that was fun. That was a good. I mean, this was also before the collection log pop up, so like the surprise of what it could be, you know, because we always close our chat boxes and stuff like that. So that was nice. I don't know. I've never found chambers to be particularly rewarding. Most of the loot chests have always been dog shit. And it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And I was thinking about this earlier today, right? I've used my psychoanalysis skills, my professional ability to do this on myself. When someone makes a correction in Tob, right? If someone's like, hey, you're doing this wrong, either I just completely ignore it, or I understand that I'm doing it wrong. Because mechanically, I know how to do Tob. If I die, it's because I made a mistake, right?
Yeah.
I didn't die to sometimes I'll die to other people's mistakes. Nothing is more frustrating than trying to run away from a crab and the tank sends a melee and then you take a 40 and then you take a 15 because you're trying to brew and you just die. It's frustrating, right? So, but very rarely is that the case, and more often than not, if I die in Tob, it's probably because it's my fault. Like I made a mistake. That's on me. Someone makes a correction in TOA. I do not give a shit enough about TOA to like even bother taking it seriously. I've tried to do like one solo raid a day to see if I can get a purple. Fear says sometimes you die because your host starts the raid early. Sometimes you die because your host says let's do Vespula, and we don't have any problems with that. Vespula sucks. Vespula is the absolute worst. Yeah, but I digress, kind of. But like when someone makes a correction in chambers, and this is the problem with this association, I immediately think it's a criticism and I get hyper defensive. They were like, yeah, make sure you're on slash. I'm like, make sure you're on shut the f up. I'm like, oh my God. Like it's really, it's not good. Like my people will like, what drives me the most insane, particularly about chambers, is when people are trying to sweat and really railing the people running head. The mage skippers who are trying to set it to mage side and are just going to town on the people trying to set the head. Tank one, God fucking damn it. Tank one. That doesn't count as one, so it's actually two. One more. Okay, Jesus Christ. Okay, we'll try it again. Like, oh, that's a special. Like, I guess I didn't set it mage. It's that drives me crazy. I'm aware of how to run head. If you are not setting it up properly, that's your fault for not communicating. If I'm trying to mage skip, right, and I'm fucking it up, I just stop trying. I don't care. I can avoid specials, right? Mm-hmm. I've done enough chambers to really not have to worry about it, you know? It's not like we don't have the DPS to get through the room. It's not like there's a life limit. We don't really do CM, so the time isn't a worry either. If for some reason you get stacked out by specials, probably going to get a white light anyway. So it doesn't matter, right? Like when people take that particular aspect of Ulm super, super serious, it makes me want to log out mid-raid. Shut up. We know how to run head. Do a better job of communicating, right? Do a better job. Sometimes it's funny when you're running around all over the place and the head can't get set and you just like something like last night when someone's like really trying to set it left, and every single time someone's messing up and running over to the other side. Poor Fear kept trying to learn mage skipping last night, and between Mima and I, we just were not giving him an easy time. But, you know, it's stuff like that I really just find is a huge, huge, like, aversion to chambers. I don't know entirely what it is, but it just makes me, like, not want to do it. And that's been a big struggle, is, like, I can do the content well, but boy, do I not give a shit about doing it well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I do not care to sweat, and I do not have any. When someone's like, oh, we're going to sweat, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to set this one out. When we go to Tob and we open up with like only spec once because we're stacking and skipping, okay, sure. When you stack and skip at Maiden, you proc 50s, you keep killing the boss, you proc 30s while 50s are still up, and then you claw spec the shit out of Maiden, and then hopefully you kill from 30 down. And if you mess up the skip, we do it a lot in hard mode. We do a 30 skip. If you mess it up, it's over. It's just a reset at that point. So like that I can do, and that I have no problem with. You know, when I enjoy the content enough to sweat in it, and I'm with people who don't really care, it's fine, right? So I think that's my biggest holdback with Chambers is everything feels like a criticism, and I get way too defensive for absolutely no reason, and it's the only place I do that. Like Are you
trying to like change that? Because you said you've been motivated to do Chambers.
Am I trying to change that?
Aware of it.
I would like to not have such a violent reaction when people tell me shit in Chambers, because that's a bad look for a content creator to tell someone who you don't know that well to mind their own business because they have 60 or 70 less KC than you do. You know, that's that, and it'd be different if I had like 1,000 KC and I can just like ignore people, but like people look at like 220 and they're like, "Oh, learner?" ? I'm like, not quite, you know. So I would like to change it, but at the same time, I think for me a bigger piece of Chambers is like I just like going people who don't care. Yeah. Like going with people who like prep takes 20 minutes, sweet. Like we're gonna wait for our herbs to grow because we got like text messages to send, or like we're filling the thing. We don't care. There's chests in the basement now. That's super cool. So we can just prep right there if we need to, but also who gives a shit? I accidentally got 200 juice because I wasn't paying attention. Like stuff like that. That is when Chambers can be fun with people. I definitely don't mind going.
Yeah.
But when people are like, "Oh, we're going for purples," I'm like, And then truly, I have just had such awful luck getting purple drops there that it's not been motivating until last night. We were raiding hella late into the morning. It was like 3 a.m. and I got an ancestral robe top, which cool money, but even cooler. For those of you who don't know, several years ago, I bought some stickers. I bought some Chambers of Xeric unique stickers. It was all the uniques minus the kits, the dust, and the capes, and like the onyx and all that other stuff. And when I got, because I didn't know what to do with most of these stickers, I put the twisted bow in one of my water bottles. But the other ones, I was like, what do I do with these? And then very shortly after, I got my Elder Maul, and I stuck it to the side of my PC, and I thought, all right, this is it. Every Chambers purple I get, I'm going to put on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how long these stickers have been sitting in my apartment, not on the side of my computer?
2 years.
A really goddamn long time. So having an Elder Maul for a long time, followed up with a Din's Bulwark, that was it for like 2 years. I got the ancestral robe top. I was like, gentlemen, it's a monumentous day.
Sticker time.
It's a monumentous day here. So I've been trying to like stick it a little bit better, but I've got the ancestral robe top.
There it is.
It's right there, and the gap is for the hat and the legs someday.
Nice.
And I'm keeping the remote over it, so it like stays flat, because when stickers sit in varying weather conditions, they kind of curve up a little bit. So I'm trying to make sure they stick fully. We're making money, which is good. And we want to keep doing more of that, because some of the goals I have set for myself for this year require a literal shit ton of GP. And like, we'll get there. We just have to do it, which is a big, again, it's a kind of issue that we can definitely touch on for main title. But it's a struggle sometimes. I did 50 Zulrah in a day the other day. That was a weird experience. I haven't done that much Zulrah in a day in a long time. Like I was just watching
like 2 or 3 minute kills, right?
Like
2 minutes with the
minute
with
to
the
2
Bofa?
minutes. Minute to 2 minutes.
So
I don't
like
Bofa only.
Oh, do you do switches?
I hybrid, yeah. And like, and this is another example of being able to take critiques and suggestions and like, you know, corrections and things like that. Any other content, no problem. I've been doing Zulrah exactly the same for like years with a blowpipe. And I was in VC doing Zulrah, and people were like, "Why are you taking a blowpipe and not a BOFA?" And I'm like, "Cause fuck the BOFA. I want to take my blowpipe." And people are like, everyone in the VC was like, "It's so much better to take the blowpipe, even if you're or the BOFA, even if you're switching." So I was like, "All right, whatever. I'll give it a try." And then I beat my PB, ironically, without using the BOFA at all. The accursed scepter, whatever that thing is from the wilderness, in combination with just like absolutely dumpstering Zulrah with Sang hits. I think I was a tick off from the GM time on my PB. It was like it was like a 54 or something. PB Zulrah. Oh, 55.8. So I was 3 or 4 ticks off. I was one attack shy of getting the GM time with just the Sang staff. But
whoa,
like
nice.
I took that and I was like, yeah, sure, cool. I'll make a switch, see what happens. Chambers bad. I'm trying to get back into the VC, get back into the community a little bit more because it's fun. But I'm also trying to balance like not wanting to stay up till 4 a.m. every night because I will. Like last night, for example, you give me free reign with some boys in the VC. We were up till like 3:40 doing raids, and I don't want to do that shit on a work day. So,
right. Well, it's on a weekend, so it's kind of forgivable. But on a work day, no. It's like weekdays are for the man. Weekends are for the boys.
Man, we need that 30-hour work week here in the U.S. so goddamn bad. I'm telling you, we need it so bad.
I actually, speaking of work, I recently switched my schedule. So now I work 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and my productivity has just gone through the roof. Because otherwise, and I was telling my lead, and this is the reason I made the switch, Oliver gets home from school, from daycare, at 2 p.m. and I still have 3 hours. I still had 3 hours left in my work week, or my work day, because I worked till 5. And so, like, every other day, my wife and I were switching where one of us would watch him and work at the same time. Mm-hmm. So I was like, what if I just started earlier and I just cut out the time, like I cut out the time where I have to have a child and work so that I'm not losing that, because I'm basically not doing anything, understandably, because like I have a child. And they're like, okay, well, let's give it a try. So I took the 2 hours or 3 hours that I was not being able to do anything, and I put it at the beginning of the day when he's at school, found out I was a lot more productive. So I get off earlier. It's very nice. I was up anyway, like, because I'm getting up at 6:30 in the morning anyway, so might as well just start work at 7. It's very chill. I'm just listening to music in the office, sipping my coffee. Good times. But 30-hour work would be amazing.
I could probably pull that off if I worked from home. But like, boy howdy, do I hate waking up early in the morning to go to work.
Yeah.
I also hate super early. Like for me, I hate morning sessions. Like whenever I had to, during my internship, there's one day a week. I had one client who I met with weekly and then bi-weekly for a while, who could only meet me at 8:30 in the morning on like a Tuesday. It was like the only time they had in their schedule available.
Is that early?
Oh, it feels early, dog. You gotta get up at 7. You gotta drive half an hour to your job. Even now, normally right now, I work from 8 to 4. Generally speaking, when the schedule is normal, because the summer schedule at my job is absolutely whack. Like, I would show up, drink coffee with the kids, and then sit in my office from 8:45 or 8:15 to 9 and pretty much do nothing, because like, boy, I am not therapeutic in the
priming
morning.
up your workday.
Truly, nothing is like it's really, really tough. You guys are in therapy, right? First of all, W to you for being in therapy. Second of all, could you imagine sitting in front of your therapist and he's fighting for his life because he's fallen asleep?
No.
You're just like, yeah, and I think that's the problem is like I don't feel stable in my relationship with my parents, and that's why it's so difficult for me to trust other people. And your therapist is like, that sounds really tough. You want to tell me more about that? How'd you get to that point? It sucks. I do not like doing that. So I try not to do early sessions. So if I had to show up at 7:00 in the morning and talk to people about their feelings, no. I have a friend. She works at a private practice from home, and she sets her own schedule. And her earliest appointment one day a week is like 10 a.m.
That's her earliest appointment?
She normally starts at like 11 or 12, and she goes to like 6 or 7.
Oh.
Bliss. I'm like, I could easily rock with that schedule. But the
Yeah.
more I've been working 8 to 4, the more I've realized, like, damn, people's lives happen between 8 to 4. So, like, you kind of have to be awake because that's what our society dictates. I don't know if I've bitched about it on this show before or not, but like I saw something one time that was like, and God said, I will make half of your species alert in the morning and half of your species alert at night to keep you safe. And then man said, but we're going to require all of our species to be awake during the morning. And God said, wait, that wasn't the point. And man said, if you were not awake in the morning, you are unproductive degenerate. So you have to be awake in the morning, regardless of who you are. And God said, no, wait, you guys don't get it. And man said, we're not going to pay you if you're not to work on time at 7:00 in the morning. I despise waking up in the AM. I really do. It's horrible.
Yeah. Are you one of those nighttime people forced to be a daytime person?
Yes, I 100%. Michael, I raided till 4:00 in the morning yesterday. Yeah. You need me to stay up till 6? I got you. You need me to wake up at 6? You can go yourself. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen.
You should start your own private practice, and you'll call it something witty about like staying up. And you call it like no longer degenerate or something. And it'll be for those like graveyard shift people who have nothing to do at 3 a.m. And you're like, let's go, therapy. And you do your therapy from like 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. or something. And it'll be great. You'll be on the nocturnal shift. But then you'll have no friends because everybody else in your life will be
I don't like night shift because I've done night shift before, and it's rough because like your whole day is, graveyard shift not great, chambers worse.
Chambers worse. Okay,
money good though. So that's
money when it happens. What do we? I dare say these next words for fear of what might happen. But what are we talking about today?
That's all we have time for in this first section, folks. Enjoy this recycled commercial. We'll see you after the break.
Start the music and then.
So, Michael and I were talking last night. He was awake doing construction. I was awake doing chambers. He messages me in game and is like, "What are we talking about?" Or I messaged him that or whatever. And pretty much we were both like, we were like, "Shit, what are we talking about tomorrow?" And we're like, we should do like a specific topic episode because like forestry came out this week. Cutting trees, having a good time. That's the update. Dead Man Apocalypse blog. Didn't even bother to read it. Don't give a shit. I was going to say, can't wait for like
DDoS.
I was going to say, what do you mean they got DDoS season 8 or whatever
what do you mean
it is?
We have to redo the ending?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's definitely, instead of Dead Man Apocalypse, it should be Dead Man Expect Problems in the final. Like, that's just got to be the next name of the tournament at this point. So, we'll see. Maybe we'll read it and do something on it closer to the date. Maybe Mike and I will play Dead Man for laughs. But at the moment, I don't care. So, we kind of were like, let's do a specific topic, but we couldn't really think of anything off the top of our heads because Michael was doing construction. I was at Ulm. It was 1:30 in the morning. And we just decided, Michael decided rather, this morning to consult ChatGPT.
You want to know the prompt I said?
What was the prompt that you said?
I said in the prompt, I said, you are a host. you are the host of the Xpwaste podcast, and you have to come up with a topic. What are you talking about? And it spit out 9 topics. I kid you not, Oxie. We have done every single one of the first batch of all 9 that it showed me. And so I came back with the prompt. I'm like, you've already talked about all of those. What are some more topics?
What are the ones that it brought up?
It was like, oh frick. It was like what quests you should do, what gear you should strive for.
RuneScape
like,
burnout, RuneScape goals.
How to not get burnt out.
E3 2021.
No, it was literally like, it wasn't word for word exactly what we've talked about in the last 112 or 113 episodes, but it was damn near close to most of the stuff we've done. So
really don't like
I don't know if ChatGPT just like found our YouTube channel online and looked at our titles and then came up with stuff, or we're just like smarter than AI. I have no idea, but I had to like tell it to dig deeper. And so it came up with the idea of talking about, what is the exact words here? Decision paralysis, which is, I feel like
it was part of a broader topic though. Like that's what we opted to focus on. But like, what was the broader topic that it sent?
Oh, it was talking about strategies for balancing various activities such as high-level skilling, bossing, questing, doing things like the Inferno. And then it says, discuss how the game's complexity and increased content options can lead to decision paralysis and an inefficient use of time. Which I thought was just like, that's deep. That can go deep. And the fact that both of us have talked about in our weekly recap how we've kind of been feeling some of that already was just, we had to dig deeper, because I kind of hinted to it in my recap, but like, I'm probably going to feel some decision paralysis after I get my Questcape. Like come August, when I have nothing else to do for quests, like maybe I'll do Desert Treasure when it comes out, or like a week after. That'll be it. That's like the pinnacle of my goals for this account. I do have some other goals, but where do you start? Like once you've done everything you want to do, where do you start over? Or if you don't know what you want to do, how do you start? So I don't know if you want to talk about specifically what you've been feeling with decision paralysis, but I'd like to unpack some of those things that, like, I know that we talked about for an hour, at least right now, kind of talked about our week and what we've been feeling, but I think it goes deeper than just this last week.
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes up a lot. For me anyways, it comes up a lot in the end game. But just like Michael said, it's going to come up every time you finish some sort of goal. Every time you get a quest cape, you get a diary cape, you get a fire cape, you get a skill cape, you get something, right? Otis says, can we get a definition of decision paralysis? So you can do A, B, C, D, E, F, or G, and they all help you in some way. Which one do you do first? Do you do them in order? Do you do them in reverse order? Do you do them in random order? Do you create a wheel and put A, B, C, D, E, F, G on the wheel and see what happens? But the caveat is, at times, none of the options feel satisfying. Right? Because A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you just finished H, and H was great. But now you can't do H anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've been having a lot of fun doing quests, but then once they're done, am I still going to have fun doing, like, am I going to have the same amount of fun doing achievement diaries or going for a 99 or training Slayer? So in simpler terms, it's like the fear of what's next, or the fear of starting something new. In like just not knowing where to start or how to start it or how to transition, rather. I mean, it's a bunch of things. Decision paralysis, it's not just one thing. It can encompass a lot of things. And like, I feel like a lot of people with ADHD feel it in their everyday life. Like I feel it a lot when I'm working. Like I know what my job is, but when it comes to like projects or like asking for help, in my work, if I have a question, sometimes that decision paralysis can lead to just skipping over tasks and not completing tasks because I don't want to start it or I don't know where to start.
Mm-hmm.
It could even be like it could even happen in chores. Like you have to do the dishes. You have to clean out the fridge. You have to do this, and that. Like you've got a honey-do list on the fridge, but like you see so many things that you don't know where to start, and starting is the hardest part.
It truly
for
is.
me, at least.
It is. It can be the worst. It's a tough one, decision paralysis, because I feel it a lot with PVM, and it also can be a symptom of how long you've done something for. You know,
Mhm.
a lot of pieces of PVM to me sometimes don't feel fun anymore. Or let me back up. Not that they don't feel fun necessarily. They don't feel as rewarding all the time. So for example, right, back when I first learned it, Vorkath was all I wanted to do. And I was like sweating my balls off killing Vorkath. Like I was hunched over at the computer like this. Like my hands were tilted with my keyboard. It's like I didn't want to mess up any like F key switches or anything like that. Now I could like fall asleep at Vorkath, and like call it good. I was falling asleep doing Zulrah the other day. I just like stuck auto retaliate on for a little while. I'm like, all right, I gotta stop doing this. But when you get to that point where like you need something to make something feel more rewarding, it kind of comes down, at least for me with PVM, it comes down to setting goals, which huge shocker there, I'm sure, for the folks who have been around for a while. Michael and Oxie are going to talk about goals. Or at least Oxie is. So the way I see it, particularly on the PVM and the PVM end of it, there's two kinds of PVMers that I have seen. There is the super eclectic, I'm going to do something for an hour and then do something else kind of PVMer. Or there is the, I am locked at this boss until I get this.
Mm-hmm.
Which could be an item, could be a pet, could be a green log, whatever it is. I am doing literally nothing else until I green log this. And it does extend beyond PVM, right? People can do that with all sorts of stuff in this game. I'm locking myself to Motherlode Mine. I'm locking myself until I get the Herbivore pet. I'm locking myself to the Inferno. Like a lot of people can do that. I cannot. I would like to, but I cannot. And that is one of where my struggle comes in, is if I do the same piece of content for more than like an hour or so, and I have nothing else going on. Now, like I've been training prayer for about 3 hours. That's entirely because I've been recording. Like that has nothing to do with me being like, I'm going to get 99 prayer this weekend. Let's go. I probably could. I just got 93. Look at that. Like,
hell yeah.
Realistically, if I really wanted to, I could push through and like get 99 prayer by Wednesday. I just can't focus on doing that,
Mm-hmm.
So if you're like me, for example, and you know that you can't sit at a boss all night long, if you have a really hard time doing that, it can be difficult to pick what to do when you log in and bank stand.
Yeah.
Because like, am I going to want to do this for more than 20 minutes? Am I going to want to do this for more than one trip? Like, is it worth it for me to gear up and do Fazani's Nightmare to only realistically do like one of them, or Zulrah where I do like a trip or two and then want to do something else because nothing feels tangible. Like I'm just sort of doing it to do it. This is where the goal setting part comes in.
Yeah. I feel this especially a lot like for like working parents or like gaming parents or like you don't even have to be a parent. Like if you just don't have a lot of time, working gamers, like you have an hour and a half after you get home from work, and maybe the spouse is wanting some time with you, and so of your 3 hours you have before you go to bed, you spend some time with them, and then you're hopping on the PC, and it can take you 30 minutes to gear, and you're like, well, I got an hour, and it's going to take me 25 minutes to do one raid. do I even want to do one raid? And then that's where the decision paralysis sets in, because you're like, well, what, you end up spending your entire hour and a half that you plan to game staring at your bank. I felt that hard after I maxed, because yes, I had set goals and I completed a fair few of them. Like I maxed in November, and it took me until March to burn out. So that's 6 months, roughly 5 months of doing things that I had planned to do before I reached the end of that fuse that had kept me going. But I really felt that, like, the goals that I had set for myself after I maxed were not as enticing as seeing numbers go up on my GIM. So then there's nothing wrong with this. Like, I switched accounts. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't want to like put a label of shame on it, because there's literally nothing wrong with switching an account. People do it all the time. But there is a bit of a stigma. People, for some reason, see it as a weird thing that, like, you max your account and you stop playing it. There's literally nothing wrong with that. Stop playing an account at any time. All that aside, I felt that because I don't have a lot of time to play, and so seeing myself be able to complete goals in a faster way. So, like, for instance, if I'm trying to get 15 million Herblore XP, well, it's going to cost me tens of mils, and I'm going to get maybe like 100 or 200k an hour. So if I have an hour and a half or 2 hours to play, then that's 400k XP. That's like, in terms of the 2 or 3 million XP that I need, that's not a very large dent. But on my GIM, if I can spend an hour and a half and knock out 4 quests, to me, that feels more rewarding. And I think that's what's kind of carried me these last 3 or 4 months that I've been playing my GIM. Is like the ability to knock out more in that short amount of time. But not everybody has an account that you can fall back on, and not everybody feels like they want to then devote more time into another account. So what do? That's kind of where we're having this discussion of what to do with the decision paralysis. Yeah. And I think the number one thing is to take a step back and figure out what your goals are.
Yeah. So Michael just described a problem that happens to everyone at least once at some point in their account, right? It normally happens. Some people, Evangor in the recording booth chat, described it as post-goal depression, right? Where, not like a clinical, diagnosis or anything, but you don't know what to do. Like, oh, I can finally play the game. What does that look like? I don't actually know, right? Because this has been my definition of playing the game for so long, is striving for this goal. And there comes a point where you've learned everything, or you've learned everything you feel you're capable of, like, feasibly doing right now. Because Mima brought up another good point. Some content that you want to do requires other people to do it with you, right? So say you become decently proficient at PVM and you really wanted to get into, like, raiding, but there's no one online to go with, or you work a weird schedule, or you're, not a part of the best RuneScape Discord in the world. Shameless plug there. Oh, am I gonna die at Suckus? I died at Suckus. Got him. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
There goes the hardcore status.
Rest in peace.
But there comes a time where you want to be able to do more stuff, but you can't necessarily learn it. Like, the amount of times I hear people say, "Oh, I want to learn Tob." That's not always the most, like, feasible thing in the world, because not that, like, Tob is unfortunately gatekept a lot, undeservingly so, but it is unfortunately gatekept.
Right. It's not soloable, so it requires at least one other person, 2 maybe.
Yeah, it's really not. I mean, it is soloable. It is not for a learner.
Wasn't designed. I think they specifically, like, they designed Tob to not be a solo. Like, there are people who have soloed it, but it's not designed for that.
Yeah, no, that's not the point. So sometimes you hit this wall where, like, you've learned all you can feasibly know. You're cut off from being able to know more, right? So now what? Now what is the question? And that's, I think, where for me some of that comes in, is I'm at that now what point a lot, I feel like.
Right, because you're not motivated to max. At least not right now.
Which I don't know why people have been up in my shit for like trying to get me to max. I don't know what happened this past week, but like I got 90 mining and suddenly everyone's like, Oxie's maxing in 2023? What happened? Like Jamie, when I finally posted I'm free, so that's a funny looking 99 there, Oxie. I'm like, dude, I hate this game. It's like 7.6 million more XP to 99 mining. It's gonna happen one day, but like, God, it's not a thing I'm looking forward to, man. So like, I don't know. That's where I've been sitting, is like the things I want to theoretically get better at. Master combat achievements. I want the master combat achievements done. I have absolutely no idea where to start. Which isn't, it sounds like, oh, there's a solution to this. Start with this boss. Yes, I know. Right? It feels, I don't know how to word it. And I'm sure people have they understand this. Like, I don't know how to quantify this into words. Where
it wouldn't be decision paralysis if it was that easy.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. It definitely, it definitely does take that effect. And then in addition to Master Combat Diaries, there's, I want to make money to get my bank up, and I want to get 90 or base 90s after a while, and I want to get certain pets. I want to go on certain pet hunts, but I also want to do this and that and the other. It's like all sorts of stuff sort of pops up, at that moment. And again, there's nothing wrong with any of this. Like it happens, It just gets frustrating.
Yeah.
When you don't know where to go, and you log in and you're like, now what?
Right. Because we're not immune to it. We're talking about it because it's a real thing. I think Otis brought up a good point. At the end of the day, don't be afraid to take a break. He says, long or short, nobody will judge. Nobody should judge you for anything that you want to do with your life. Oxie will. I'm judging Oxie so hard because I want to get my quest cape and he's holding me back, but that's neither here nor there.
The GIM chat's going to explode in the next couple of weeks because Michael and TMT are going to be waiting to get to Priff, and I'm going to be like, yeah, I got 40 Hunter. Let's do this, boys. Like, we're going to have a civil war on our hands if I don't trade my damn skills.
Ironically, Oxie has the most quests done, and he's like the closest to the cape quest-wise, but me and Team D are the closest skill-wise.
I'm missing like 5 skills. Like I need Thieving for Secrets of the North, Hunter, Herblore, and Construction for So, and then Slayer for Monkey Madness 2. Done. They're all done.
Donner.
And I know I can beat the bosses, so it's just like, got a skill, which I'm also not motivated to do. And that's the other issue, is like I can be super motivated. Like when I was wanting to quest, oh boy, we were cooking through those quests because I had a progression. I knew what I was doing. Then you just sort of hit a wall and you don't feel like you're doing it. I even myself feel like I'm hitting a wall having this conversation, so I feel like I've been rambling on about absolutely nothing since we shifted into this topic.
No, it's like, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that just having the discussion, this could lead to more of an in-depth discussion with people in their personal lives and their work lives, and in the Discord with like the Xpwaste chat might be popping off with people who are now finding out that they're not the only ones that feel this way, and then you're able to put a definition behind how you're feeling. Because like for the longest time, I didn't know that I struggled with the decision paralysis when it came to me at work. I just thought I was lazy. I just thought I was broken. It's like, why can't I do the simple tasks that I need to do? Like, you're not alone. There are definitely people out there who struggle with it. And looking at other people's account progression is not the way to solve it, because you are yourself, you are your account, you are the I don't know, the puppeteer. That's a bad way to put it, but you are who progresses your own account. And at the end of the day, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Just on the streak of like talking about our feelings this week, I've felt some sort of pressure, and like it's self-inflicted pressure of like I have to get 70 construction, I have to get 70 herb lore, I have to get my quest requirements, and that pressure is a little bit fueled by the looming Desert Treasure 2 release, because I've put a goal on myself to want to try and get my quest cape before that, so that I can say I did it and then take my time getting the Desert Treasure 2 stuff out of the way. Because like Oxie and I were talking about it in our group chat. We're like, the quest itself, probably not that bad. The skill requirements, easy peasy, knock them out. But like the 4 bosses, the unknown of what those are going to look like on a low level.
I ain't doing that shit.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like on a low level group Iron Man, that's daunting for me. So I would like to try and get my quest cape knocked out before that. And so that unnecessary pressure has like, it's caused me some like, it's weighed on me mentally, looking at my account and wanting to spend every waking minute just like trying to get these things done. But like there's nobody at the other end saying you need to do it other than myself. And that's hard sometimes. Whenever you set your goals and you want to complete them as fast as possible, but then also the balancing act of that is once you complete them, what's next? I kind of scratched the surface of this whenever I was talking about what I wanted to, what I was going to do after the quest cape, but like I'm legitimately not worried. I said it earlier, but like I'm not worried, but it is something I'm trying to put mental thought into, of like, how do I not burn out and how do I not get bored is the big one, because I don't want to get bored with this account. I could go back to my main account after I get my quest cape and like, do the whole skill hopping, but on accounts, because maybe once I get my quest cape, I'll feel more motivated to go and do some long grinds on my main account and then hop back on the groupie. It's all just like figuring out what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And starting is the hard part, but
yeah, and it does definitely help to either have a second account or play another game or do whatever,
playing another game
where you have something else to like draw you back in, something else that makes you want to say, ooh, I wish I was doing this on my main, whether it's raids or PVM or skilling or what have you. That has been the benefit of an Iron Man account, is like playing this game sucks at a low level, without teleports and without whatever, and then like having to log into your main to do whatever, even if you haven't played it for a couple of weeks, like you log into your main to do literally whatever. And I think I was like, damn, where's my Artie cloak? Like I looked for my Artie cloak in my bag, and I'm like, I have 10,000 house teleports. What am I looking for an Artie cloak for? And then it was like, oh, this is nice. So like there can be like various pieces that do motivate you, with like not playing the game or not playing the account that you're on.
Yeah, I felt that. Yeah.
So because I saw you log into your main last night, so I imagine.
Do you know what I did?
What?
It's funny. I was on my groupie doing construction, and I was in the VC, and Scotty, who we were talking about earlier, he was 2-ticking teaks on Apatol. And so when you 2-tick, you have like the occasional one HP that you get hit from the bird.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was 2-ticking for like 2 hours straight, and he was down to like a quarter of his health. So I'm like, I'm going to log in and do heal other on him. So I logged in and just switched my spellbook, took out a full inventory brews, and I went and healed him. He's like, you are a absolute king. So I logged in for like 5 minutes. And I took note of the time from my last login, and it was exactly a week. It's been a week. And then the only thing I did was log in, teleport to Apatol, heal other, log out.
Yeah. I mean, Vangor says his gaming history is basically swapping from game to game, chasing goals. This will persist in other games.
Mm-hmm.
Because the blessing and the curse that is the Steam summer sale, right? I think I spent about the equivalent of a AAA game over the last week or so, $60-$70. I got maybe 12 new games.
Ooh.
12 like bangers too. Dead Space 3, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, like Oblivion Game of the Year edition, Mirror's Edge, Spore, and it's stuff like that. Like all sorts of like big old games that like in theory I really want to play. Guess what the fuck has happened?
You log into RuneScape.
Nope, it's a question. Guess which question has been asked?
Oh, which game do I play?
Which one do I download first? You want to know how that question normally ends? I don't know. I guess let's play RuneScape.
Yeah. It's the bank standing thing, but with Steam.
Yeah. I mean, it is an issue, so it's definitely not just a RuneScape exclusive problem. I think this episode is a struggle for me, not because I don't like talking about my feelings, because I talk about my feelings and other people's feelings a ton. Mm-hmm. It's weird to combine worlds because what we're not trying to do, right, is be like, oh, this is a symptom of a greater problem, because it does not necessarily have to be that, right?
Yeah.
One of the common things decision paralysis is associated with is ADHD. You do not necessarily have that if you cannot decide what to do in RuneScape, right?
Right.
If you're like me and you do, you can put a source of the problem. But at the end of the day, regardless of what diagnosis you may or may not have, the root of the issue is what you are doing no longer feels satisfying, and you don't know what will bring you that same sense of satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
So we always talk about long-term goals and the importance of long-term goals and stuff like that. I'm talking about what happens after tends to be something of a challenge. Long-term goal, and like you could like theoretically put long-term goals out there. Like after I got my Infernal Cape, my long-term goal was the Verzik helm. I have, like I said, not the foggiest clue where to go from there. And again, it's not because I don't know where to start. I know how to do all of the content in the Master Diary.
Yeah.
It's not a question of can I achieve it? It's where do I begin, and do I want to put the effort in for this one tiny little thing when I know I'm going to have to go do something else? Like it's a desire to do something for a long time without, like, you're overthinking it. Like, oh, there's a task to, kill Kriara with the salamander or whatever nonsense. That's a one kill trip.
Mm-hmm.
That's a couple minutes of gearing, an ecumenical key, 5 minutes in the boss room getting the absolute shit slapped out of you by Kriara, and then that's it. Like that's the whole encounter, right? So all that work for like, I think a GM task, then I do it all over again for something else. So the process of like starting and restarting can also be something of an issue, right? Because starting and restarting is hard. Long-term goals at the moment, yeah. I'm blanking on even like what I could be like, oh yeah, this is a long-term goal idea, because like I could tell Michael like, hey, get your damn Elite Combat Diaries done, but like if it's not going to bring you that same sense of satisfaction that you are craving, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm. I don't think this episode is necessarily supposed to be here's decision paralysis and here's how you fix it. Like there's no way, there's no like stream of words or a sentence that we could give you, even Oxie as a licensed therapist. Like there's nothing we can give you on this podcast that's going to cure you of this issue, because I think it's literally just, it comes down to it happens and it's what you do with it.
Yeah.
There's not a specific remedy. You can't drink a prayer potion or a restore potion and be fine. That's a nerdy reference, but I'm very ashamed to say it, but
letting other people or other things decide can be helpful. I said earlier, do you put A, B, C, D, E, F, and G on a wheel and spin it? Sometimes that is the best.
Mm-hmm.
Because if someone or something else tells you how you're going to spend the next hour or two of your life, it's easier to follow through with that, because now it's just like, I'm doing this. What activity in old school RuneScape focuses on that exact thing that people love to do? Slayer.
Yeah.
Someone else tells you what to do, and you sit killing suckers with your dragon scimitar, cooking through prayer pots for 2 hours. When you logged in and said, I have no idea what I'm going to do today.
I felt that too. I was gearing up to do magic training, and I'm like, I don't want to do all this. And so I started training mining because that's the easiest thing.
So I don't know. I give the wheel a try. Honestly, who gives a shit? Give the wheel a try and see what happens.
Do it. Especially if you're skilling. I feel like that, like if you have no specific skills that you want to train, just put them all on a wheel and spin it and then train that skill until you get the level. Even if you have like 15 XP left, just train it and then spin the wheel again.
But I will say one thing is to be concrete about what it is so you know when it ends, right?
Yeah.
Because like I said, if it's guideless and you don't feel like you're gaining anything from it, if you just say kill Vorkath, that's what the wheel lands on.
One time.
Yeah. All right, cool. I've killed Vorkath once. That's my whole day. Guess I'll go do something else. Stick something concrete on there.
Mm-hmm.
Gain 100k XP in whatever you're doing. Make 1,000 wines. Kill 25 of this boss, or kill 10 of this boss, or send a solo, or send back-to-back solos, or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't just set goals. Make them like tangible, where you could look at and be like, oh yeah, I've done exactly what's been asked. And that will help with the like, this all feels pointless. Know what I'm saying?
Right. Because if you look at all the quests and you're like, well, I mean, do I go top down? Do I start? Like, I mean, again, it just comes down to narrowing the field of choices so that it doesn't feel so overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I said there's not like a remedy, but there are things that can help decision paralysis.
There are ways to alleviate it, but to be like, this is never going to happen again it's not feasible. Because it's going to happen again.
Yeah.
You know when it's going to happen? When you finish the first thing you were doing.
And you're moving on to your next one?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, again.
And again. A cycle, yeah. So
again.
My best advice that I can give is just be concrete about what you're trying to do. Be concrete, be intentional with the goals that you're setting, or with what you are having someone else do. Again, that's why Slayer works, because the Slayer Master will tell you kill 178 Cal fight. It's a specific number of a specific activity, and you know exactly what to do. So
right. Like the beauty about Slayer is if you don't want to do it, you can skip it, and then you have the same option to ask for another task. And maybe give yourself some leeway to say, like, if you do spin the wheel and it's kill Vorkath and you're like, I really don't want to kill Vorkath, spin it again. But like, limit yourself to not just keep spinning it to like find something you want to do.
Yeah, someone's got to code a program where like you're allowed 3 spins an hour on this wheel that you manually input shit.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you just do that until it's done. It's either 3 spins an hour or you get 3 new spins whenever you complete that thing. You pretty much need a taskmaster beyond Slayer. That's why people are like, oh, artisan contracts. Like, I don't want it to just be Slayer. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I'm telling you. You want, like, if you are among the player base like myself and Michael, who cannot do the same piece of content for hours, days, weeks, months on end until it is complete, you want it to be like Slayer. Mima said the Magic 8 Ball, which I actually have in my mains bank.
Magic Egg Ball?
The Magic Egg Ball, Magic 8 Ball, whatever it is, I've got it in my bank. Let's give it a look and just see this item. I think it's like an Easter reward or something.
Easter reward, yeah.
It'll
randomly spit out like a boss or an item or a pet that it recommends.
Yeah, where is this damn thing?
Maybe at Diango.
Is it storable
in
your
house?
Player-owned house?
No, it's got like the destroy option, so you might have to go to Draenor and re-get it. reclaim it.
Let's see about that.
While you're looking so this there's a guy on YouTube. His name is Vanica. I don't know if you've heard of him, Oxie, but he's very motivated by like tasks. And so his YouTube channel blew up because he did a series called Slayer Locked. And he could only get account progression through Slayer. If he got an item that wasn't dropped by a Slayer monster on a Slayer task, he couldn't pick it up. He obviously could train skills, but those skills had to be directly related to doing Slayer. I think his series kind of like died down a little bit because he lost momentum, but he started a new series, which I have been enjoying a lot, called Task Locked. And so instead of like Tedious's collection log, he took that same concept and he formatted it for the combat achievements. And so now he will generate a combat task and it'll tell him, like, he's going easy through Grandmaster, and he generates a new combat task, and he set himself up with like rules where if he completes a task that he wasn't assigned to do, he's putting money in a coffer, and it's been really cool. So like he'll hit the button, and his first one was like kill Bryophyta one time. But there's like other Bryophyta tasks that you can complete on accident. So his like theory crafting of how to not complete these other tasks. But that's just one example of like taking something in the game, kind of what you were talking about with the spin the wheel, putting things on a list and then having like a spreadsheet tell you what to do. That could be fun, and that could be a way to organize your thoughts in a way that is still meaningful for account progression. Because I think for me, if I was to like really try and do the combat diaries, like that would be a fun way to do it. Just go through all of them systematically, like easy through Grandmaster, and have like a random assignment. And then you're working on that one task, and that's your main goal in your account. No matter what else you're doing, that's the goal that you have, and you can't really deviate from it.
Mm-hmm.
But you were looking up something.
No, I found the Magic 8 Ball. I found it.
Oh, the egg ball,
it was in my POH, and it's pretty cool. Like some of it's just like, what boss do I kill? What skill do I train? One of them was like, will I get a pet today? And the Magic 8 Ball, it randomly generates a pet. It's like, will I get the Hell Puppy? And it said, ask again later. And then it said, will I get the Snakeling? And it said, it is decidedly so.
Ooh.
So maybe I'll do a little Zulrah. Then I asked it what boss I should kill. And I figured if it tells me Zulrah, shit, I'm going to do it. It told me Temporos, which like, okay, cool. I have Temporos on my goal list anyway. I'm doing neither one of those things because I'm currently still killing animated abyssal demons because I'm recording. But, we do have options in game. This sucks to deal with, and sometimes it sucks to quantify. And there's also a whole group of players who do not understand what this is, which is not a problem, right? Because you go through your own strife. When you kill a boss 18,000 times, when you train a skill to 200 mil looking for a pet and you still don't have it, it can be maddening, right? But your brain tells you have to finish it, right? Spending 3 months on a boss to green log it can be maddening. So it's a different kind of like, God, this sucks, So if you're in the camp that myself and Michael find ourselves in, it's not fun. But it's also not impossible to overcome. Have someone else tell you what to do. Make it extremely concrete, like not like rigid, like if you break the rules, you're done. Like that's the end of the account. But like 157 suckers on Lunar Isle. That's as easy as it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's the one thing I will say is try not to make it too specific or too like out of reach for what you're trying to do. if you have a 1 hour wheel, do something for an hour, tiny little goal wheel you're trying to work on, and 1,500 Vorkath is on there, it's probably not something you're going to be able to achieve in a feasible amount of time. That's like a week of Vorkath, And if that's your style, go for it. But if you also have the same issues as Michael and I have been talking about, maybe don't do that. So make them realistic, make them concrete. That's the best I mentally can do for you today.
Yeah.
Michael said there's not words you can say. There are lots of words that I could say.
Well, I more so meant like there's not a stream of words that can like not cure you. I don't want to make this seem like you have a disease, but like there's not something that you can just flip a switch and then you don't have decision paralysis anymore. Like like you said, there's things that can help you cope with having it and experiencing it. But like for me, I've just kind of accepted that in things that I'm doing, like if I just have to set goals for myself. That's kind of how I am. Like I can't just log into work. I can't just log into RuneScape. Can't just like start a task without just like having a goal that I'm striving for. Because otherwise, in my brain, it doesn't feel like there's like it doesn't feel worth it.
Mm-hmm.
That's more so what I meant. Because definitely there's ways to make it easier. I think my final thoughts, and I want to, tie the bow on this, is like whenever you're setting goals, try and make it to where you can, by the end of it, have some way to show that you completed it. Oxie mentioned this, but I kind of wanted to expand on it. If your goal is to kill Vorkath, as that example, the goal shouldn't be to kill Vorkath. The goal should be, a better way to phrase that would be, do 1 hour of Vorkath, do 10 kills at Vorkath, make X dollars at Vorkath. So digging deeper into the goal, but also at the end, you'll know how you completed it. Mm-hmm. And making it achievable, but also not something that's just like autocomplete. It's also going to be key to like long-term success with setting goals in RuneScape. This kind of turned into like the goals episode, but I feel like we could talk about that.
We knew what this was going to be going into it, I feel like,
Yeah.
It's just it could be a shitty thing to have to work with, but it's not impossible. It's just a matter of
doing it. It's a matter of starting.
Play the game. Don't play the game. Yeah, but just start something. Just literally, that is the whole point of this. Is just start doing something. That is.
This is your
motivational. If you take nothing else away
Yeah.
from this episode, just start it. Shut up and do it. Make your dreams. Do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, that is.
Do it.
That's where we're at. But I think it's break time, Michael.
All right, folks. Take this time to go to the Mudload mine and put some ore in your sack. And we'll see you after this.
Whoa. We said do it. We didn't mean go to Mudload mine. Do anything but MLM, please.
Bye.
Howdy folks, my name's Prospector Percy and we're looking for some fine young adventurers who want to hone and grind their skills. Now if this sounds like you, then you gotta come on down to Motherlode Mine. Down here we got everything you need to train up them gathering and artisan skills. We got hammers, we got pickaxes, we got dwarves, we got other adventurers, we got a bank, and we got some baby moles. We've even got Grandma! Howdy Grandma! Howdy Percy! You probably gonna come on down here looking for ores, and let me tell you, we got all sorts. We got coal, we got gold, we got mithril, we got adamantite, and even runite. And where do all them there ores come from? Say it with me, fellas. Pay dirt! That's right, folks, them there walls are lined with pay dirt. Mine a bag full and toss them on the conveyor belt. Watch it go down the water. Say hi to the baby mole for me. Once it hits the sack, go mine some more. Load your pay dirt on till the bag is full and fix that dang wheel. When your sack is all full and you're picking through them rocks, you might find some of them there gold nuggets. I'll take them off your hands for all sorts of goodies like bags of gems and bags for coal and bags for more pay dirt. I've even got some fancy mining clothes because who doesn't love a fish and fashion skate? Cart your way down to Fallador to the Mudload Mine just next to the mining guild to make all your pay dirt dreams come true.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that commercial break because I know I sure did. it is the part of the show now where we will take a second to thank everyone, not everyone, most of the people who support us over on our Patreon. Actually, no, listen, I want to take a second to thank everyone. Thank you so much to everyone who supports us on Patreon. You guys are the best. We don't do this segment to advertise our Patreon. Yes, we tell you where to go, and we ask like, hey, if you want to support us, here's the link. And we appreciate that so much. It helps us do crazy things like the North Meetup on August 5th, 2023 in Ypsilanti, Michigan. More details on our Discord. But it helps us do crazy things like that. Like it helps us get PC upgrades so that we can make editing a better experience. Anyway, this is the part of the show where I want to take a second and
one quick note about the meetup.
Oh yeah,
just because someone DM'd me literally while we were recording and asked, the meetup is free to go to.
Oh, true.
Other than like plane tickets and hotels and things, the meetup is free. There's not like a ticket price to get in.
Right.
We still have to coordinate how we are going to pay for some things because we're not going to have you guys just like raw dog it and pay for everything. We would like to do something for you guys because let's be honest, it's your money that we're spending anyway. Because we're using Patreon. So there will be some things that are compensated by Xpwaste. What they are yet, we couldn't tell you because we don't know. Right. But it's not like we're not gonna make you guys spend an exorbitant amount of money to do anything. There's no ticket price. You don't have to be part of the Patreon. Just like show up and hang out. So
right. Like a round of what do you call it? Like laser tag might be on us or something. We still have to figure that out as far as what we can pay for. But yeah, there's no tickets. Like other things that like other podcasts do, like if they have a live show, sometimes they'll sell tickets to go to that show. This is just a meetup. Like we're asking you to come hang out with us. So we're not going to make you pay to see our faces. But yes, Patreon. We do have people that we specifically shout out, and I'm going to do that now. So new Wise Old Man patrons this week are Alpha, who in the Discord is Alpha Hotel Quebec, and David D. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining the Patreon this week as our newest Wise Old Man patrons. And on the screen now is our current Wise Old Man patrons. Everyone who is subscribed to that tier at this current moment, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. One of the great and awesome benefits of being a Wise Old Man patron is having access to a recording booth. And that is where we interact with you guys the most. And so if you ever hear us talking like so-and-so in the recording booth chat said this, it's because they are a Wise Old Man or KBD patron, and they're hanging out with us while we're recording. Right now we have 12 of them, 14 total, counting me and Oxie. So there's 12 of us all hanging out in a Discord, and you know, you guys are amazing. If I just had to sit here and talk to just Oxie for 3 hours, this would be absolute torture every single week. So you guys, I knew
I'll go fuck myself, I guess.
Sit.
That's why the old episodes used to be like 40 minutes long.
Because like
the older one, Michael's like, oh my god, I can't stand this anymore. That's why the original episodes are all like under an hour, and then we got the recording booth chat, and they're like 4 hours long. Not yet, almost. Someday,
so close.
Someday. Remember how last week we're like, dude, there's not going to be much to talk about. It's just Desert Treasure 2 rewards. The episode was clocking like 3:30 without any editing. I'm like, holy shit. We went on for a while last week.
One day we'll hit that 4 hours, but today is not that day. Anyway, thank you, Wise Old Man patrons. You guys are amazing. People that we will shout out by name is the KBD tier patrons. So you guys are amazing. Consensual hugs and kisses to all of you. But we do want to start out with the shout outs with saying thank you to Broix70, Oxie's dad, my dad, all of our dad, Cloud Kicker, Dicky Bird, XP Enjoyer, Gay Raccoon, Imby Jones, Legend Gary, Lil Drakey, the Lord Jake himself, Mark aka iSteam, MT Birchfield, Rylithian, SatanBot666, Soggy Waffles, Seppi J, Seth Shep, Skooma92, Spire and Fire, Taco Ninja, the Big G Jordy, the Crayola Crayon, Toast No Toast, and Tiz Talk Coots. Thank you so much to everybody in the KBD tier. You guys blow our minds each and every week with your amazing support. So if you would like to join the Patreon at any tier, ranging from $1 all the way to $25, whatever you feel like doing, you can do so at patreon.com/Xpwaste. The money that you give us does not go into our pockets directly. At the moment, we do not take a cut. There is no personal checks being made out to Oxie or I. This goes exclusively into helping make the show better. So thank you so much to everybody who does support us on Patreon. Again, that's patreon.com/Xpwaste. Michael, it is now time for community question. Thank you, Michael. Next part of the show now, we're going to go and talk about our community question that we ask you guys each and every week, a different question. And last week we asked you, what rewards are you most excited about coming from Desert Treasure 2? And would you like to see anything changed? Starting out on our Spotify replies, we have Dylan. They said, probably to see where all of them fit in, because I believe it will be niche. The Blood Scepter to overheat, then swap to SR Axe could be the meta for one of the new boss mechanics. And that was actually D4 Drake. So thanks, D4 Drake. Next up, we have Toast No Toast. They say the robes are definitely my favorite because even as a mid-level player, I have anxiety about using Barrow's durability. So I have to force myself not to grab the Mystic instead of my Arams. Oh no.
It adds up over time.
Yeah, I mean, did I say something wrong?
You said overheat instead of overheal. But people
So
understand.
G4 Drake is in the recording booth chat, and they're correcting a typo. So the Blood Scepter to overheal, then you swap to the Soul Reaper's Axe. Thank you, D4 Drake. Next up, Charlie. They say, I'm most excited to see what happens in the desert storyline. Ooh, I mean, all the rewards aside, this is like a continuation of the lore. So it's pretty neat. In the future, I'd love to see all the major quest lines connected in a super Grandmaster quest. So with some world-changing events in before RS3 Mockcat says, can't say I'm too thrilled about the new Grandmaster quest. Still slowly aiming towards the questscape in general. Hopefully something interesting other than the new bosses to fight and to get the drops from them. I mean, I feel that. I don't see it as a way to like progress the account. I just see it as another checkbox on the goals list. So, and that's for the Iron Man. But for the main account, I think it might be fun to try and do those bosses day one. Actually, not even day one, because I will be out of town, I think. Maybe. It's on the 26th, right?
Is it? Did they give us a date?
I think they gave us a date. If I'm not mistaken. We got somebody in the Discord said that Desert Treasure was like confirmed for the end of July. So, who knows? Next up, we have Shane. They said, on the topic of a second ring slot, a utility ring. The main slot is for combat, and the one ring, and a ring, and one for the Ring of Dueling, Wealth, Celestial, Endurance, etc. I could get behind that, because like it probably would end up just being you combat ring, and then you have your Ring of Endurance. But like,
where does Lightbearer fit?
That's true.
Because that is a dramatic change. It's particularly. Is it the offhand for Lightbearer, or is it Lightbearer not count because you predominantly use special attack in PVM, but you also use it in skilling?
Yeah.
So
who knows?
That's tough.
It's like a hybrid ring, so they would have to really define it. Tuhees said it's buffed blood barrage and stuff, right? Question mark? Yeah, I think so. If you get the new gem slot thing for the scepter that you get from Muspa that you get from Desert Treasure 1, that's the progression of that. Grooch says, looking forward to the rings and the expensive drops early. Would also like to know your thoughts on if there were 2 ring slots, they'd be separated combat and utility, so Ultor and Wealth, etc. Yeah, I think that would be the way to go, but they would really have to like define some stuff.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
was just say because does suffering count as a combat ring?
Yeah.
Does Ring of the Gods count as a combat ring?
Right, because like the Ring of Suffering is designed to be a utility ring for the Ring of Recoil. But like, is the Ring of Recoil a combat?
Yeah.
Or is that utility?
If by the strictest definition, or the broadest definition, we said combat rings are anything that gives you a stat boost. Right? Any stat boost that is a combat ring, that allows for all of the standard jewelry rings, right?
Yeah.
Ring of Wealth, Ring of Dueling, Ring of Recoil, all to be used as utility. I believe OSRS Lightbearer, I don't think Lightbearer has any stats. So Lightbearer would fall in the utility category, as would the Ring of Endurance, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it offers no stat boosts. However, Ring of the Gods would fall in the combat category. Ring of Suffering would fall in the combat category.
Yeah.
Which definitely has its purposes. Like, don't get me wrong, Lightbearer and Ring of Suffering somewhere like Zulrah would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Lightbearer and the new, what's the ranged one? Venator? Lightbearer and Venator would be nice in the Inferno. You know?
Honestly, dude, you could say that for like a Lightbearer would stay in the utility slot. I don't think you would like, other than the Ring of Endurance, for things like
Herbivore
where you're
would be
running
cool.
around.
Yeah.
But why would you need a combat ring? Like, I'm talking in terms of places where you need 2 rings.
Style.
Like, okay, Zilliana, Ring of Endurance plus whatever range ring that you got. You don't really need the special attack. Things like that. That would be
if you
kind
bring
of cool.
a ZCB, it's nice.
Yeah.
I
But,
imagine. I don't know.
It's all about min-maxing at that point. So I think it would be cool, and hopefully they consider it, because they did say, this was going to change things, but like they kind of removed the biggest change, which was the prayer book. Moving on. Backsly says, we need to teleport right outside Muspa's lair. The Weiss run is too long. I just want to point out that they said that in all caps, and I did not do the yelling justice.
The Weiss run is too long.
So they said, I feel very strongly about this. We can tell. And I think that you're absolutely right. Give us a teleport right to Muspa. Josh says, Soul Reaper axe. Of course, the rings and robes would be great, but who knows what the axe may be good for. I want to try it. It's super strong and the same attack speed as the Fang. It looks cool too. I voted no on the axe on my Iron Man, and I may cancel out my vote after I give it some more thought if the poll is still running, and go vote yes on my main. So who knows? But for the time being, I voted no. Nate Dogg says, excited to make some money on the new rings. Kind of bummed they're just stat increases. The axe should be stronger and maybe give it more damage and a faster attack speed as it ramps up, but you lower its max HP. I don't know. I don't know. The axe doesn't excite me. And I'm sorry if I'm being a buzzkill, but like, there was a Spari, host of the Gothic Rest podcast. He posted in the Xpwaste chat a video of somebody like hyping up the axe, and I have yet to watch that. I need to go and watch it because I think it might change my perspective and actually give me something to talk about when it comes to the new axe. Because because it's probably going to be put into the game. Enough people are probably going to vote yes that it becomes in the game. So like me voting no is probably not going to do much, but I probably need to just learn more about it. Trumpet Kid says, excited for the money solo bosses. Love me some Soloscape. Are you an Iron Man? Please sound off. Alex says, I'd love a new tree to get 10,000 logs from. Alex, I feel like that was an inside joke that we do not know the origin of.
No, we just had someone say they're trying to get 10,000 of every log.
That was Otis. Wait, did they? 10,000 of every... Am I dumb? Is this a reoccurring inside joke that I should know about?
Oh, dear God. Host
no.
of the Xpwaste podcast, everyone.
I was sick for a week, so like my brain got reset. And finally on Spotify, Spencer says, just new bosses to fight and hopefully some things that aren't range only meta. Here. I'm a little bit tired of just, hey, bring your Bofa, bring your
Take the
T-Bow.
Or it's not even take the T-Bow. Nowadays it's take the Shadow.
Take the Shadow. Oh, I guess we'll see. Moving on. We have our YouTube replies. Same question we asked you guys. What rewards are you most excited about coming from Desert Treasure 2, and what changes would you like to see made? And we only have one reply. Jordy says, rewards-wise, the prayer book would have been nice, but I understand that it's just not possible. I hope they dare to expand certain fractions like the Majorat quest line. And just hope, and I just hope they add the new prayer book down the road. That's, again, I think I do agree with you. I hope that in some form or fashion, we get the prayer book. Whether it's, like we talked about last week, whether it's a whole new prayer book in itself, or they just expand on the standard book, I hope that changes do come with that.
You know, I recently watched a tasty video while playing Ark looking for rock drake eggs. And he brought up a good point that, like, it is so entrenched in the game itself to be able to protect from incoming damage and be able to do more damage with prayers, that not having that in a prayer book immediately makes it useless in combat. So unless the prayer book is exclusively for skilling, which, how do you realistically do a skilling prayer book without boosting XP dramatically? Like it's really hard to find that balance, you know, because it's just not, it just doesn't seem worth it, I guess, without protection prayers and without melee prayers, or not melee prayers, without offensive boosting prayers. But with protection prayers and offensive boosting prayers, how much different is it than the standard prayer book?
Right. That's kind of my thought was
it's not.
It's not.
So I think, you know, it's been discussed that we add more to the prayer book, which I don't hate. Piety's 17 years old or whatever it was. The 2007 backup, so it's going on, Jesus God, it really is going on like 17 years, isn't it? Because Piety, I think, was like a week before the backup Piety came out, or a week or two before the backup Piety came out.
Right.
I know people have mentioned Soggy Waffles posted the God alignment prayers. That could be cool. I don't understand that enough to talk about it, but that could be cool. Maybe we do add some higher level prayers. Maybe we do add a 96, 97, 98 tier rigor, augury, piety, just straight up better than. But how do we add that? Is it untradeable?
A quest,
Is
probably.
it a boss drop?
Yeah.
You're going to quest for a 30% range damage prayer? That doesn't seem very on par. Like the other, like rigor comes from a raid. So
Right.
like, how do you, something that's more powerful than rigor, how do you get it? You know,
You
I
become a
don't,
god.
that's a tough one. It's exactly like, how do you even consider adding new prayers? I don't know. Prayer book hard.
Prayer book hard. Ring slot fun. Anyway, that is going to do it for the community question this week, guys. Thank you so much to everyone who answered. If you want to answer this week's question, it's going to be, what is your best method for starting a task when you're feeling unmotivated, essentially? You can answer this week's question over on the community question section on Spotify or the pinned comment of this YouTube video. My dear friend, Michael, Oxie, it is now, if this is your first episode, I'm so sorry. But anyway.
A rough week for your first episode, let me tell you.
You are up, sir. It is your turn for the best segment. Second only to me doing the community question. Anyway.
God damn. We do. It is Achievement of the Week time. I got to say hi to Fumble Swing because I don't think they saw that I said hi the first time because I think I typed it as they teleported away. So hi, Fumble Swing. They're rune crafting while I'm doing whatever. I don't want to be an asshole. But it's Achievement of the Week time. We're going to kick things off with combat because you guys didn't feel very violent this week. We do have some good news, though. We have 4 fire capes. The Lard, Xenon, the Koi Fish, and Chaos all got their first fire capes this week. Huge. Literally huge for the account. We love a good first fire cape around here. And frankly, we don't get enough of them. So congratulations to you guys. I said you guys didn't feel very violent, and I meant it. Dr. Burt and AFK for a bit both achieved their first Corrupted Gauntlet KC, and Achilles got their Missouri kit. That's it. That's all the killing that was done. Still monumental achievements nonetheless, just you guys are within a small party this week. Small party of murderers, as it were, you know? Moving on to the miscellaneous section, even smaller but more expectedly so. We have 2 quest capes. iSteam finally got their quest cape, and Xenon with the double appearance got their quest cape and their fire cape pretty sure in like the same week. Also, I think was it the Lard who got the 1 KC fire cape pet? The Jad pet? I think it was.
I know
Pets
somebody
aren't
did this
achievements.
recently.
Pets are not achievements, Lard. But welcome to the 1 KC pet gang. Michael and I are glad to welcome you in.
Hell yeah.
Additionally, in the achievement category, Ryukusen got his diary cape, and Chris got his music cape this week. So we got a little bit of cape action. We got quest cape, we got diary cape, and we got music cape. The big 3 of random miscellaneous stuff that people do in this game. Skilling is a little bit thicker. We got about a dozen 99s or so this week. So let's get right into them. Kicking things off, the man himself, Jake. That is the AIC STP Jake, the vice president of the only Jake Society here in TNL, got 99 agility. He also got a ton of other 99s over the past couple weeks that he posted in achievement levels and achievements. But I thought we already shouted them out, so I didn't shout them out. So Jake I'm pretty certain we already did, all right? Because we'd shout him out before he would even post them. But in addition to 99 agility, Jake is almost maxed.
Yeah.
He's cruising. He's getting there, man. He's going to get there. La Floridian achieved 99 hit points. Sparry achieved 99 Slayer. And possibly 99 Smithing by the time this episode's out. You'll know next week. Cloud Kicker achieved 99 attack. MJ Still achieved 99 hit points. Humble Owl, with I believe their first 99, achieved 99 hit points. River Wolf achieved 99 strength. And I want to say River Wolf up the 99 just like you did at Zelcano. Just by like killing Cerberus and forgetting that he almost had 99. So you know, you got a little bit of Oxie and Michael 99 there for you. A Suffix, Isaac achieved 99 woodcutting. Toaster Bath achieved 99 mining. You are free, my friend. For Vitney also achieved 99 mining and actually gave a pretty good post about how the big 3 are done. And he's like,
yeah, huge.
I'm going to get a max cape, baby. Like he's ready. Like it took a while, but he did it and it's all done. He did mining in like a month.
Yeah. Can I just take a second to like shout out this man? He started literally like 2 or 3 months ago. He had like none of the big 3 were done and just absolutely grinded them out. Mining was last, so he did rune crafting, agility, and then mining. And yes, it was like what 80 something to 99 mining in a month. Insane.
He like the last couple of days he was saying he had like 600k at MLM a day. That's gotta be rough.
That's like 10 or 12 hours.
Yeah, but he's free. And moving on, we have Kiosk Bane, who also got their first 99 with 99 range. Sickness got 99 hit points. Guess you could say he's not that sick anymore. Gay Raccoon got 99 range. Sheffy achieved 99 strength. Sauced, it's SOSD, and I imagine that's just pronounced sauced. I'm not sure. Achieved 99 Slayer. K Black achieved 2K total twice because of the virtual total level throwing off his groove there. And Cloud Kicker coming in once again in the skilling category with 2100 total level. That wraps up Achievement of the Week this week, folks. You guys are absolutely killing it. You know, we get so many 99s a week. It's just super fun to watch. If you want to be a part of the elite few, you know, the ones who can be shouted out on Achievement of the Week for whatever you do, join our Discord. Discord.gg/OSRSTNL. Post about your achievements. We say it every week, but literally whatever they are. Whether it's base 60s or a Zuck Helm or an Infernal Cape or a Fang Kit, we don't care. Post about your achievements. We want to see them. There's a lot of other stuff to talk about as well. There's very active voice chats. It's a holiday weekend, but it's a Saturday. And of course, the voice chats are going up. We got raiding, we got bossing, people doing all sorts of stuff. We're
doing
VCs,
a skill of the week right now.
We are doing a skill of the week right now that I got a level with you. I forgot we were doing. I have been logged in for 4 hours and 10 minutes on my main account that I could have been woodcutting.
Yeah.
Because we were like, we'll do a skill of the week. I did sign up, yes.
Oh.
And I'm pretty certain the only woodcutting XP I've gained is from Ice Demon. Because I do it every time, Michael. Every time we do skill of the week, I'm like, this is it, baby. I'm earning myself the title. We're taking the W. Skill of the week starts. I go to work. Someone cracks off 1.5 million XP in the first hour. And I'm like,
well,
see ya. I'm done. Like, I'm not catching up to that shit. I'm done.
That's fun.
I have done a little bit of forestry. And it's fun. I like it. It's a little confusing and a little distracting at first because there's not the one thing I think forestry doesn't do well. It doesn't explain what the fuck is going on.
That's literally my only complaint.
Like piles of shit just like pop up on the ground and you're expected to know what to do.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how to do any of that. So I think forestry itself could probably benefit from like a mini quest maybe. Just to teach people what the hell is happening. Maybe give like 150 woodcutting XP as a reward. Or like maybe that's how you get a forester kit. Like you can buy it for 120 GP, or you can do the quest and get one for free where all you do is just like chop a certain amount of trees. Because like RuneScape as an MMO, if you think about it, doesn't have any of the classic fantasy like kill X number of enemies quests. Because we have a whole skill dedicated to that. So like maybe the quest is like the friendly forester or whoever he is like, damn, I need some wood. Can you get me some wood? And you got to cut a certain number of trees. Maybe it's like what are oaks? 15 wood cutting?
Yeah.
Maybe you have to have like a 15 wood cutting requirement. And he's like, I need some oaks, but like, you know, I need you to investigate this stuff too. And then like during the quest, you get like an event that procs and the friendly forester walks you through how to do the event and tells you about other events and maybe gives you a little book or stuff like that. Like shows you what could happen. Kind of like how Guardians of the Rift teaches you, or Temple of the Eye teaches you how to play Guardians of the Rift. Stuff like that.
Daddy's Home is like an introduction to construction.
It's an introduction to mahogany homes.
Oh yeah.
Like I think that's what forestry could benefit from. That's the one thing forestry doesn't do well is you have no idea what's going on. So otherwise, forestry pretty neat. You know,
there's your little tidbit.
Yeah, I watched a Hanani video because she popped up on my YouTube feed.
Yeah,
I forgot how funny that girl was. Man, I laughed my ass off watching that video.
We should have her back.
I don't know. If
I want my cheeks to hurt.
I had a migraine for like 2 days after that episode.
Oh, gosh.
And I laughed so damn hard editing it. God, that was a good time. Hope you're doing well, Hanani. But yeah, we have lots of other stuff that goes on in the Discord. So come join it. Come hang out. One of the channels in the Discord that we have, which is actually exclusive for Xpwaste patron members, is the Fun Questions chat. Because what time is it, Michael?
It is fun question time.
You're goddamn right. It is fun question time.
I have one. Off the dome.
Good heavens, would you look at the time Michael has thought of his own fun question, folks. Holy shit, it's like August 2021 all over again, baby. We are so back.
This is in no way anything against Iron Otis, who posted a question, but I'm curious of my own question, and maybe we'll save Otis's for next week. But Oxie, this is like off the dome, so Oxie has no idea. Oxie, you start a brand new account. You're on Tutorial Island, and there's a new game mode where you can start a new account, and you have to lock yourself out of 3 skills. But you get a buff or some sort of reward or some sort of like you gain something for 3 other skills. What 3 skills are you locking yourself out of? And what 3 skills do you want a buff in?
Someday Michael's gonna learn what the Shattered Relics League is. And he's gonna love it. So assuming this is an Iron Man account, right?
It doesn't have to be.
Then it doesn't matter what my skill choice is, because I'll just pick 3 random skills and buy everything that I need. The challenge I imagine would be an Iron Man, right?
Well,
because
okay.
I would do, if it was a main account, I'd do crafting, herblore, and fletching. Because I wouldn't have to spend money to get those 99s, and then I would buy the stuff that I needed with those skills.
Well, think about this. If you lock yourself out of herblore, any quest that requires an herblore level, you're not going to be able to do it. You can't do Song of the Elves. So it's not as simple as just saying, I'm going to pick the 3 skills that are buyables, because like you're not doing those quests now.
I mean,
but if you want to spin this in an Iron Man way, and we don't have the quest locked feature, then that's also.
I was gonna say
acceptable.
if it's a quest lock feature, I mean, that's a tough one because you don't get to complete the game. Like you don't get to if it's hard and it takes a lot of theory crafting. I think if we're going with the quest locked option, whether main or Iron Man, defense is one of the ones I'm not doing.
Smart.
Because people know how to play that, and I can figure out how to make an account as a 1 defense pure, right? The other ones that would be difficult to cut out, or so because I can't do Song of the Elves anyways, because I can't train defense, and you can get up to Morning's End Part 2, but you need level 5 defense to equip the Ardoyan Knight outfit.
Oh, right.
Or whatever it is to equip steel. So you need a little bit of defense to actually complete Song of the Elves. That's why Pures can't do it.
Damn.
So there's that. I probably, because I can't do so, would also cut out Hunter. Because like
useless.
Yeah, like I'm just trying to conceptualize like what would I do with Hunter. There's really not much you can do with Hunter, you know? And I think to build off of that, if I can't do Hunter and I can't do Song of the Elves because I don't have 1 defense, Dragon Slayer also gives a defense reward. So you can't do Dragon Slayer, you can't get Piety, you can't get a Assembler, you can't do Dragon Slayer 2. I'm also going to cut out Smithing. Because I think if I'm playing either on a main or on an Iron, not like Smithing only serves the purpose of account progression in other ways. Right. We don't smith our own armor, we don't upgrade our own armor. If I'm a main account, things that require smithing to do, I will buy, like a Dragon Fire Shield. Things that require smithing on an Iron, guess I'll go myself.
Right. Doesn't like Torva and
Torva
Missouri
requires a smithing level. I don't know if Missouri requires a smith. Let me actually look. Smithing other. Let's see. 90 smithing for Torva, 90 smithing for the Elidness Ward, 90 smithing for the DFS, 90 smithing for the Ursine Chain Mace, 80 smithing for any God Sword Blades, 85 for Spirit Shields. Let's see what else. I imagine is Missouri fletching? Is it crafting?
Might be crafting.
Because that'd be under armor, theoretically. So, yeah, Missouri is 90 crafting.
Oh, okay.
So you could technically still get Missouri. And you don't need any of the 3 aforementioned skills to do... Oh, shit. Do you need... Hold on. OSRS... what's it called? Beneath Cursed Sands?
Beneath Cursed Sands?
Do you need a smithing requirement for Beneath Cursed Sands? You don't need anything, but let's see for, like, Contact. There's no requirement there. Prince Ali Rescue, Xarlan's Little Helper. All right. So what about, here's a question for this fun question, right? That we're theorizing together. if you have a skill locked, right? Like say for example, I'm not training smithing, but I'm training cooking and I'm doing recipe for disaster.
Mm-hmm.
And a sub quest gives me smithing XP. Can I still complete that quest? It just won't give me the XP?
Right. I think so. Like
Okay.
it's not a requirement to do the quest. It's a reward from it. So you just wouldn't get the reward.
Okay. So I think smithing, hunter, and defense are my 3 that I'm not going to go with because I am skilled enough at the game to like I wouldn't make a 1 defense account build. I wouldn't limit myself to 45 prayer. I would get 99 prayer if I could.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably one of the boosts I would choose. Is
That's a smart
prayer would be like a huge XP multiplier, or prayer would be trained by using the prayers in addition to burying bones. Like prayer would be a lot easier for me. Maybe prayer, I'd have a constant like prayer enhance effect. Like every 30 seconds I restored 3 prayer points.
Right. It would be like your health.
I think that is what that
like
would be
health.
the perk that I had. If I had 1 defense, prayer is obviously super important. So I think I would do maybe 2 or 3 prayer points every couple of seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, something like that, just to get some prayer points back passively. So that's one of the boosts I would go with. Another boost I would go with, this is where it kind of does depend on whether or not I am a main or an iron.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm a main account, a bonus I'm getting. Actually, let me see if I can think of another skill that doesn't have so much like divide. Because like I'm trying to like I'm looking at the skills right now. I mean, another easy one for a 1 defense pure main or iron, magic no longer requires runes.
Ooh. But at what level? Like any level?
It just doesn't require runes.
Huh.
You train it, but it doesn't require runes. That's my perk.
That's cool.
Which is OP as shit compared to the skills I'm not using. But
right.
The 2 that I'm back and forth about, right? So I'm an Iron Man for God, even as an iron it's tough. For farming, herb yield is tripled.
That'd be cool.
Iron.
Yeah.
Herb yield is tripled if I'm an iron.
For farming, I think a really cool perk would be that you have unlimited access to any seed. Like you don't have to go and get seeds. Like you just have a seed vault and you can pull them out as you need them. But they're untradeable. I
might scrap the magic one just because I think the magic one is too powerful for this kind of thing. I think what I would do is I would add like a 3 or 4 times drop multiplier for Slayer uniques as an Iron Man.
What about for magic? Your magic attacks tick faster. Or you can alch faster. Or you can do superheat faster. Like maybe instead of like 4 ticks, they're 5 ticks.
Production master relic from Leagues 2, where you just process everything in 1 tick.
Yeah.
Michael is gonna love Leagues if he actually plays it.
I don't love Leagues, but
you're putting this kind of thought into a fun question, Michael. Oh baby, you could really enjoy Leagues. You could learn to love it, because you're basically just describing a league. I think, or maybe dead man mode. Who knows? So yeah, I'm thinking I'm definitely cutting out hunter, smithing, and defense, and I'm definitely boosting prayer, slayer, and farming. I think those are the 3 that I'm going with.
Nice.
It's hard as a main account to justify farming because I don't really care.
Right. But as an Iron Man, it's huge.
I was gonna say, as a main account, like, I don't know. Yeah, so I'll just say that. Yeah, either way, herb yield is tripled, 4 times drop rate for Slayer uniques, and every couple of seconds, 30 seconds, I restore 3 prayer points. Those are the perks I'm going with.
Yeah, and I don't think that those are too OP.
They definitely are. For not being able to train, it's like smithing and hunter, and I just get a permanent prayer boost. That's pretty.
You're giving something up, though. That's the trade-off. Because it could be any skills that you give up, but it's like
because I won't get piety, so it's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to use like ultimate reflexes or whatever it is, the brain prayer that gets me killed everywhere I go.
All right, so mine, I've had some time to think. And I think
Uh-huh.
with these three, I haven't taken Song of the Elves or like a lot of the major quests. I haven't taken them off the table. Some diaries potentially, but I am giving up fire making, fletching, and fishing as a main account, and even as an Iron Man. Fletching would be hard because like it's pretty big for your like account progression as far as making your own darts. Can't buy darts anywhere really. But anyway, fletching, fire making, and fishing. Those three skills I don't really like to train anyway. So giving them up wouldn't be the worst thing. I instantly do fire making because that's the most useless skill in the game. Make fire.
Burn
Cooking,
money.
Burn money. So the perks though. The perks. My first perk is going to be for agility. At 99 agility, you no longer lose run energy. It's not the whole time.
Why would you not make that level 1?
Because I'm looking at it more of like this is a skill cape perk.
Okay.
But because like I don't know, that would just make like nobody would give up agility. But if you didn't care to train agility all the way to 99, then it just gives more incentive to train the skill. The second one was the one that I told you, but for farming, it's you have access to an unlimited supply of seeds, but they're untradeable. So you can't just like take out 10,000 Renar seeds and sell them. But if you want to spend the time to plant them all, then you could benefit from like your yield. But there's no like boost to how many you can, like you still make the standard amount. You just don't have to train skills. Like you don't have to fight monsters or thieve to get them. The last one is for herblore. You have like a potion decanter. So instead of having to take 16 or what, instead of having to fill up your slots with prayer potions, you have a prayer potion jug where you add, it takes up one slot, and essentially you just get to keep adding doses. It's like a bottomless compost bucket for each of your potions.
That would be
so you have
awesome for the Inferno.
Right, you have one slot for all of your prayer.
Awesome.
You have one slot for your brews. You have one slot for all of your super combats, and you just like you don't get them for free, but it just adds all of your potions into one massive jug that you can take sips from.
That's actually that's a good one. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty good.
Now these could be future leagues rewards, but I think that would be a fun way to like play the account, because obviously Jaggers would have to put their heads together and like figure out like really cool rewards for each tier. Because maybe like with smithing, for instance, like it would be like a 75% chance that you don't use the bar, but you still get the material or something. Just something absolutely insane. Mining, it could make it to where I don't think you could make mining better.
Mining, you mine one rock, 99. Every rock in the game
99.
offers 13.1 million experience.
Oh my gosh.
So you just
just
go
never have
from
to
one
do it.
immediately, one rock, everyone's getting the big fireworks. Nobody has to train that dumbass skill. That's my perk for mining.
The perk of mining is it's no longer in the game, so you don't have to do it. Just remove the skill altogether. I like mining, and I didn't tell you this, but I'm pretty sure once I get my quest cape, I'm going to camp and get as high as I can with mining on the group Ironman so that we can have amethyst. Because I really don't mind it. I've been training mining this whole time, and
I thought you get 77 earlier.
I've gotten 100,000 mining XP just in our session today. So I really don't mind it. I didn't even bat an eye doing it. So anyway, that is the fun question. If you guys want to answer that, obviously, let us know. Recap. You lock 3 skills. You cannot train them, and you don't get quest XP rewards from them, and you can't complete quests that require them. But you can get 3 boosts or buffs to current skills that you're not locked, and then obviously you have to tell us what you came up with those 3 skills. So let us know. But Oxie, I believe it is the end of the episode, as they would say.
I believe it is.
Kids these days say that. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for listening to the show. If you want to follow us on our social media, figure out what we're doing there. All the links you would ever need are in the description. If you want to join our Patreon, check out our merch. What else is in there? I don't know. The RSVP for the meetup, that should be in the description. Let us know if you're coming. It's really simple. It's what's your name, what's your Discord name, how many people are coming. We just want to get kind of a head count to see, before we do this whole shindig. So let us know, and you can check the pin comment. If you don't want to go to the description, go to the pins of the Xpwaste chat, and the Google form is there. So submit that whenever you get a chance. Don't forget the meetup is August 5th, 2023 in Ypsilanti, Michigan. At it's called, what is it called?
Best in Games, I believe.
Best in Games in outside of Ann Arbor. So that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for listening this far. We will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.